Hi. Welcome to our show.
Well, hi, everybody!
Coming to you somewhat live and semi-weekly from the Quad M World Headquarters located in Helena's scenic North Valley, it's the Quad M Show. Here are your hosts, TJ and Marty.
And once again, I think it's just karma heading into episode 100. Mm-hmm. We're getting guests. Left and right.
I know, right?
Sometimes left-handed. Choking out that ring finger. A little left-handed there.
It's a big one.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know her as the voice of the Quad M Show. You know her as the phone calls where, you know her as the woman that was going to shoot her brother. You know her as the one calling Marty out for being in the retard classes.
Yep.
We know her as Mrs. Marty, McKenzie Kurzweiler. How you doing, dear?
Good. How are you?
Oh, you wouldn't even want to know.
Oh.
You'll find out later.
Oh, okay.
But you're gonna.
I'm excited to be here.
Oh, and as we get in and we get rolling, I want to give out some thanks. With the new app from the fine folks over at Squarespace, we're able to get tons more information on people coming in and checking us out and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So I want to thank the folks in Houston, Texas, Great Falls, Montana, Avon Lake, Ohio, Chengdu something China, because I don't speak the language there.
Good. Did your best.
Elliott City, Maryland, Brooklyn, New York, some folks out in Texas, Pasadena, California. Where is West Bridgewater? It doesn't tell me where West Bridgewater is. Yeah, well, what can you do? Manchester, England, which I think you said that's one you might have.
Yeah, that might be our buddy.
Yep, it might be.
Your buddy there. Some folks out in Idaho, Hayward, California. We're getting tons of you people out there listening. Gilbert, Arizona. Thank you to each and every one of you that are checking the show out. The numbers are crying, I was going to say crawling, but they're climbing. We're going through the moon here, man.
Right? Uncharted territory.
Holy cow.
As Jamie would say, you have 4 listeners now?
That's right.
Four listeners.
And they travel a lot.
They do. Them frequent flyer miles.
But thanks to each and every one of you listening. And also thank you to Jamie Bronson for showing up last week.
He's a good dude.
Standing clear across the fucking hall because I'm scared of mics now. No, that was one of those issues there where even as we were testing out the mic here for Kinsey, I think it was more a mic issue.
I think so.
I don't think it was. I think it was our mics that were picking him up.
Yeah.
So even though he's standing here where I could rub and touch his velvety smooth thighs, his milky white skin.
Cocoa butter. I thought you invited him and you made him stay in the hallway. You can be on the show, but
he was just laying on the couch.
Right. I'll come, but I'm laying down when I do.
I am going to isolate that. That's a new soundbite right there.
I'll come, but I'm laying down. I got it.
I'll come, but I'm laying on the couch.
Gosh.
Yeah, that's going in the old audio banks there. Congratulations, voice of the Quad M Show. You're now a soundbite too.
Yay!
So with all that being said, kids, since we got both of you, we can compare notes and have ourselves a little spat along the way. Yeah. How was your guys' week?
It was good.
It was good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just.
What do we do here? We just worked. Yeah, I have the whole next week off. I get with my job, I'm pretty lucky. I get a week paid Thanksgiving, week paid Christmas, and they just started this year a week paid New Year's. So
now I don't know how much we can delve into it because of you're still working in that same facility.
I work for the police academy.
Okay, so we're able to at least get into that part of it. Okay, all right. Well, I don't know, because sometimes they're real touchy about it.
Oh, no, it's fine.
When I was contracting, working over at the place that I was contracting, working out, I never wanted to talk about it because I didn't want to be red flagged for anything.
Yeah.
That type of deal.
Oh, no, it's okay. Mm-hmm.
But so you're still over there and you're doing that number. Mm-hmm. So do you get the week off because they have like all the cadets? They give them the week to go home and do whatever? Or?
Yeah, there's no, personally, they probably do it because, all the staff wants to go home. But there is no, because it's a holiday.
Sure, yeah.
and it's usually it ends up falling during the week, but
well, that's how Thanksgiving usually works. Yeah,
they don't have, or Christmas. They don't have any cadets there, so it's just but thankfully we still get paid for it. So
there you go.
Well, they probably have to keep their employees. You know
Our tax dollars at work.
Yeah. That's a lot of week. I mean, a whole week of not getting paid. That would, but yeah. So I'm grateful for that, and we're gonna set up for Thanksgiving. We're having it out at the Clancy house, and so I got a whole week of decorating, and tomorrow I'm
over at the Kunzweiler plantation.
Yep. It is. I'm picking up Sawyer tomorrow, so we're having her for the whole week. So she has a concert tomorrow, so her first concert, preschool concert. So we're gonna go watch that.
Is it Thanksgiving songs?
She's actually Sawyer attends a Christian school, private school. So I think all it is her first Christian song singing choir. So yeah, it's actually technically grandparent day or people of significant. And Marty and I were gonna go, but Marty has to finish up his job, and so I'm bringing my dad, me, and Grandma Brenda, she's my adopted mommy. So she's coming.
Right on. So, Mr. Marty.
Yes, sir.
So as we were discussing last night, maybe no, the night before, because Jamie was there as we were talking, saying, "I'm not gonna fucking do it." Yeah. So you got some shenanigans coming up here, Hotshot.
Yeah, I do. I don't know if I want to talk about it though.
Well, you can just say, yeah, you'll be out of town.
Yeah.
You're gonna be out of town for a while.
Yeah, I will be out of town for a while. Yeah, gotta go try to make that money.
So with that, I gotta find some subs.
I know.
So we're looking. You think it'll be like a good couple months?
Well,
no.
No, it'll be because we'll leave Friday, gone till the 18th. So what? That's 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then come back. Then we'll probably be gone for another 2 weeks, I'd say at the most.
So at this point, I'm just trying to figure out whether or not I want to do, like, find subs.
Yeah.
Or if I just want to do like some bullshit best of thing.
A rerun.
No, you can do subs. I don't care.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter if you care or not. It doesn't matter. Yeah. It's me is what it boils down to. Do I really want to do it?
Right. Well, like the week of the 18th, we can do a show.
Yeah.
Because I won't be working or anything. I'm sure you probably won't be working. That's Christmas week.
Yeah. Well, and much like Kinsey, I'm off next week as well.
Yeah.
Just the way things have kind of worked out. I was going to end up having, the 4-day holiday anyways, but there was another job to go to, so I was like, okay, cool. I get the week off, fine. I've been squirreling away and saving and stashing the money, that type of stuff. So,
good guy.
I'm fine. Head off. Go. Enjoy.
Do what you got to do.
Spend your time with our native friends. And I'll just sit home and dilly.
Dilly.
But no, my actual goal for the week that I am off, I've got 3 pages to finish on Enigma number 4.
Yeah.
My goal for this week is to get those pages done. Get them done. And then follow up with Jason to make sure he's still on board and finishing up the coloring on that end. And then when I'm back in Butte, I can work on lettering. I'm already working on the scripting for 5, 6, and 7.
Yeah. Nice.
And I'm hoping, he's, much like, I don't know that I want to talk about this, but there's a friend who I really would like to get on, and I know he doesn't have the time, and I know one of his major concerns is that he draws slow. We've talked about this, and my thoughts are is like, even if it's just like loose breakdowns, because and I'll do the inking. You can get as detailed or as loose as you want with it, but at least give me something that is still. I mean, even his sloppy art is still way better than my like, really going for it.
Yeah.
And I think there can be some magic there.
Yeah.
And so, I want to, as I'm wrapping all this shit up, try to work the deal with my friend, figure out, what we can do compensatory wise.
Uh-huh.
I have some ideas.
Nice.
I have to go with ideas because, I have to say money is no object because literally it's non-existent.
Yeah.
But
Ain't nobody got time for that.
But such is life in the crazy world of the indie comic scene. Thank you. I think you said you enjoyed the post that you saw the other day.
I did. It's funny.
Literally, it's as I'm working on the road, my week kind of goes like this. It's Monday. I'll go see a movie. So then, of course, all you folks that like us on Facebook or friends of mine on Facebook, you'll see me posting the Quad M knee-jerk movie review.
Yeah.
That normally will come out on a Monday because that's when I go to the film and movies in whatever city I'm working in. The Tuesday after work, that's Enigma time.
Yeah.
Wednesdays, if I'm within driving distance, because it's only an hour from to Butte from here.
Yeah.
Hour and a half if the road's real shit.
Yeah, which
It's
about that time.
The last 2 weeks, everyone's right as fucking rain. And then Thursday, if there's anything going on, okay, cool. If not, I'm in working on the Enigma. You know, so I mean, it's but the thing is, like at the hotel that I'm at, when you walk in, you got your lobby here, and then you have kind of like the breakfast room. You know, if you go to a hotel and they serve breakfast in the mornings, and you got your island with the little things, and you get your eggs and your sausage, or what you could, I guess, call eggs and sausages. You know, and that's why I pack protein bars with me. Yeah, that's my breakfast. I just I'd rather. But then there's like a row of there's 3 or 4 rows of tables. Mm-hmm. And fine, I just asked one of the gals at the desk. I says, hey, is it cool if I just come in here and work? No one's using the place or anything like that. She's like, yeah, no, it's fine. And then from time to time, it'll be reserved for whatever little shenanigans may or may not be going on. So okay, And the first time it was reserved, I asked, okay, I mean, is it cool if we're working in the lobby? He's like, yeah, you can. That's no problem. Whatever. I think we have like a boardroom and a stateroom and this and that, but I think they're reserved too, so go ahead.
Yeah.
So last week, 2 weeks ago, I think, I don't remember, I asked, okay, is one of those boardrooms open? Because the magic dining room was booked.
Yeah.
So no, it's right over, like a little business office. You just go right and it's right there. And I says, okay, cool. And she goes, well, I'd better warn you ahead of time.
Oh, God.
We're doing renovations. And I says, okay. It's like, yeah, we're opening up this lobby, and with breakfast, the food's going to be over on this side, and we're going to be doing that, going to be that. And I says, okay, great. And she says, well, we're kind of using it as storage for dirty laundry. No. Says, and I didn't really put too much thought into it until I was sitting in there.
Oh, God. Oh.
But I'm like, yeah, no, sure, no problem. I don't give a shit, whatever.
Yeah.
And, the maintenance guy comes over and unlocks the door, and I go in, and basically what it amounts to is, kind of your standard conference room that you could pretty much find in any office in Cube Nation.
Yeah.
You got your table, and you got about 8 or 9 chairs. But then along the space on either side, kind of a horseshoe type deal, I'd say you got about 8 to 10 of these big ass canvas bins, all loaded with dirty linens.
Yeah.
Joe, man, that's the nastiest thing.
And there was no smell.
Yeah.
So nobody pooped anything. Nobody pooped the sheets or nothing like that. Everything's fine there. But then I just got to thinking about all of the other incidentals throughout the thing, and I'm like, well, I'm not touching the shit, so whatever, and I just plug in the computer, fire up the Stitcher on the phone, and just go off on my merry way and start the writing.
Yeah.
Well, this will be something that you remember when you're rich and famous after all your comics have sold, and you're like, I used to practice in a dirty, nasty, semen-filled motel break room.
The Black Light Inn.
The Black Light Inn. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, the biggest problem from last week though was Justice League had premiered. You know, it was, Thursday, but shit, now they just release it Thursday night. It premieres Friday. Whatever. And I've given Butte so much shit over the last month, and I'm going to continue because, well, they just never seem to let me down.
Right.
I go walking into the mall, and I was about halfway across when I get like this twinge or a pop in my right big toe. Didn't think a whole hell of a lot, just walking off, no big deal, right? This plays a major key later.
Oh gosh.
I continue down to the movie theater, and I walk in, and I says, "Hi, can we help you?" And there's like 5 of them all lined up around the desk. I'm like, okay, something's going on here. Let's find out. One for Justice League, please. Well, unfortunately, sir, the movie isn't showing because our computers are down. And I'm like, okay.
Fucking bullshit!
And then the manager, he pipes up, well, what happens? The servers are down. We download the movie. The file didn't transfer. Everything's out. So we've only got what we've got. And I'm like, oh, okay. All right, cool. Here again. Number one, that's what happens when you have technology. Going all digital. They don't send a floppy disk to you. No. It's all file transfer. They don't get it's not big rolls of film or anything.
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay, fine, cool. And they're like, what we'll do is, you can have a free pass and you can come to any showing tomorrow for free on us. And I says, that is great. And I thank you so much for the offer, but I'm from out of town and I won't be here. Yeah. And if it's only good for tomorrow, can't really use it.
Yeah.
To which the guy says, but it works at any AMC theater.
Sweet.
Well, I downloaded that AMC app just because I figure, shit, if I'm going to be there, might as well get points. Yeah. Oh, that thing is the shits.
Oh, yeah.
It's the absolute shits. There's hardly any features to it. You can't tell where you're supposed to get your fucking rewards or what rewards they offer for your points. You got to really dig in to even find the thing for them to scan it.
Oh, no.
Just on down the line. But then it keeps popping up. Hey, you want some upgraded features? $15. I'm like, fuck, you get enough of my goddamn money.
Right.
Fuck you.
Fuckers.
You're $15 just so I can fucking...
You gonna give me a free ticket?
They're purposely making a shitty app so you'll pay more for a better app?
Right.
Oh my gosh.
And as I look it up, the only city that has an AMC theater in Montana is Butte.
Those sons of
So
bitches.
it literally does me no good anyway. I was like,
got you good.
I uninstalled that fucker. You think I paid the $15?
They got you good, fucker.
Here again, the jokes. Oh, good. They get their movie by Stagecoach. There's that. And the quality that you're in when they're in there. Guy fucking up with his, little laptop, showing it to everybody, Oh, just a fucking show. So, but here again, at least they were nice about it. They were willing to, not even reimburse, but,
just give you a free ticket.
That's great. And I thank you so much. But I'll see you fuckers later. And I'm out.
Fuck you, I'm out.
And so as I'm walking back to the car, toe's getting a little bit sore. And I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know. I wake up the next morning. I can't even move the shitting thing.
Just your toe.
Just my toe.
No, I didn't come up to foot or anything.
No. It was like right about here. Right about here. Like at the very edge of where the big knuckle goes from foot to toe.
Yep.
Right there.
Okay.
Right there. And I don't know, but as I going throughout the day Friday, as long as I walk around on it and I'm moving it, it limbers it up.
Okay.
I ended up going to see Justice League Friday after coming back.
Yeah.
And had it, invited a couple friends, kind of, see who might be wanting to go. Yeah. Didn't quite pan out. So I decided, I'll be the good kid. Ma, you want to go to Justice League?
Oh. Yeah.
Ma, well, let's go to Justice League. So we go to Justice League here in town, right? And went to the 4:00, the XD showing.
Nice.
It wasn't 3D.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
But it's the XD. I learned a valuable lesson. You don't know what you got until you haven't been around it for a couple months.
Oh, God.
I damn near came all over myself when I'm sitting there going, oh my God, the screen is huge. The volume is great. Oh my, the seats are comfy and I can recline. And oh my God, this is so great.
This is what movies are supposed to be like.
How did we survive when we had the circus and the gaslight?
Because we didn't know any better.
Oh my, there wasn't even steps. It was just a slanted hill, remember?
Yeah.
Oh, Butte's even better.
Is it like the gaslight or circus? I was going to ask.
You don't even get it incline.
Oh, it's just flat.
It's just flat. But the screen's up enough that you tilt up your neck the entire fucking time. No matter,
it's basically on the ceiling, so
whether you're sitting up front or in the back, you're doing that number. You know, you're showing that
the
Adam's apple.
Floor's sticky.
Not too bad.
Not too bad.
Well, people would have to go to the theater in order for it to accumulate any sort of...
Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Jeez.
The best line I heard in that movie ever was, I think it was 2 weeks ago, I went to go see Murder on the Orient Express.
Okay.
And I'm walking in there, and yeah, the crowd was skewed a little towards the seasoned citizen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
okay.
it was a more mature crowd.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
These two fucking 20-something millennials come walking in. They kind of sit in front, you know, not directly in front of me, but kind of just off to the side. They sit down, and the gal kind of elbows her around. She's like, "What? It smells like old people in here."
Oh my God. There's only one way to know
just the way
that.
Butte
if
smells.
you work in a nursing home. Yeah, right?
No shit.
But you know, and I'll dig a little more into Justice League a little bit later on as the show goes forth.
Sure.
Okay.
So with that, if we got any other cool little insights or anything for the week, then we can wrap up this first segment, kids.
Yeah.
Because I really didn't come up with any kind of fun, you know, here's a little quiz we could do or any of that. That's one thing this show's missing now since Jason's been gone.
Yeah.
Like you know, little quiz games. Because I don't know what you don't know.
Oh. I don't know a lot, so.
Yeah.
You can
open up.
Ask me anything.
Okay, ask. Remember, he's the resource kid, okay?
My name is Travis, and the Moose Dog.
He went to resource. Come on now.
Well, you know, you're the one that
I
married.
still love you.
You're
Look
the one,
at him. Oh, look at that glare.
You know, Marty, you can be bitter about it as you want. She's the one that married Corky.
See,
That's just true.
That's
I love your resource, slow learning ass any day, okay?
The Jedi mind trick works so well. All right, well, let's go ahead. We'll wrap up this first segment. We'll come back with a little bit of Fred G. Sanford, hot takes, and all the other shit. Squad M Show, kids. Stay tuned.
Stick around.
Have you checked out quadmproductions.com lately? Quadmproductions.com is your direct access hookup to order the Enigma comic book series and download the Quad M Show podcast. Check the appearances page for upcoming events and contact us with any questions or comments. Don't be the only lonely soul who's missing out on all the fun. Visit us today at quadmproductions.com. That's quadmproductions.com.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Marty, the official bartender of the Quad M Show, and I'd like to be your bartender too. If you're in the Helena area, stop by and visit me at the Gold Dust Bar and Casino on Cedar Street on Wednesday nights, or Bowser's on Dredge Drive Friday and Saturday nights. Use the special discount code given out during the next segment on your next visit and get a free drink courtesy of myself and the Quad M Show. I'm Marty. I like to party.
You're listening to the Quad M Show. Segment 2.
Welcome back to the second segment of this here Quad M Show. Again, we are your hosts. I am TJ.
I'm Marty.
Welcome back to the show.
And, of course, our special guest.
McKenzie.
And as always, this segment is brought to you in part by Mirror Mirror Salon and Spa. Now, I know you folks are seeing those pics online and you're saying to yourselves, damn, how does TJ get that awesome hair? Well, as we all know, a very small part of it's genetics, but the big credit, however, goes to Shauna and all the fine folks over at Mirror Mirror. Now, if you're in the Helena area, make your reservations today for all of your hair, nail, or spa needs. Walk-ins are always welcome. If you get in there, tell them Quad M sent you, get $5 off any service they provide. Once again, that is Mirror Salon and Spa. Give them a call today, 406-603-0644, or stop on in at 2043 Northwest Chance Gulch in Helena. That is Mirror Salon and Spa.
Do it.
Is this little peek behind the curtains wowing you?
I'm just enjoying it. I like watching it.
You're like,
I
really?
listening.
You're like, really? This is it? It sounds so much bigger after it's been done,
No, I like
and the magic has been performed.
I like it.
You know what else is magical? The Fred G. Sanford.
I was going to say that.
For excellence and stupidity.
Morons.
You're a moron.
Idiots.
Idiot!
Dullards.
You're always so stupid. Did you take lessons?
The FGS Award for Excellence in Stupidity.
All right, so a woman whose husband had just overdosed in their Staten Island home was so worried that responding cops would find their stash of heroin that she snorted it and then overdosed as well.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Scott Bevard, age 44, and his wife, Lori Gallo Bevard, age 40, nearly died in their Oakwood Heights house during a week of overdoses on Staten Island that killed 2 people and hospitalized 5 more.
Holy bejesus.
Those were separate incidences.
Jesus.
Apparently, it was heroin. Apparently, they were having Crazy Day sales over at Heroin R Us.
Oh my gosh, I guess.
in their Staten Island home office. And as a quick aside, if you go and you look up this story, the picture on this Lori Gallo Bevard, age 40. You know the old saying, it's not so much the years as it is the miles.
Yeah.
This is a hard-looking 40-year-old kid.
Rode hard and put away wet.
Holy bejesus. It's a sight.
Oh, God.
Let's see. The couple was saved by quick-thinking medics. He was talking and he just stopped in mid-sentence. I came out of the bedroom and he was OD'd on the couch, Gallo Bevard told the Daily News. Gallo Bevard then called the cops, but was afraid of getting busted. She was unaware of a state law that protects 911 callers reporting an OD. I found the stuff he used. I hid it because I was afraid of the cops, she says.
And I bet it was her first time using
Keister
heroin.
stashed it.
Oh, yeah.
Old prison pocket.
No. She snorted the old tootski. That heroin was done snorted.
She.
There was no prison, no hot pocket on that one.
No.
Both had used heroin in the past, and she had the anti-overdose medicine naloxone. I don't know how to pronounce some of these scientific names in the house, but Gallo Bevard was panicking. I tried to give him the Narcan, but I broke 3 bottles, she said. I performed CPR till the ambulance got there. Police and medics used the naloxone to revive her as well, and took both to the Staten Island University Hospital for treatment. Bevard is a contractor, and he's back at work, and his wife, a stay-at-home mom on disability benefits, lived to see her children another day.
Well, no shit.
I love how they added that last bit.
That's the push for feel-good news.
Right?
Congratulations, ma'am. You've snorted a shit ton of hair, snorted a shit ton of heroin, but yay, you live to see another day.
Live to see another day.
To collect those benefits.
You still get your benefits.
and you still get your betties.
Staten Island, though, man. There must not be much shit to do there.
Apparently, plenty of heroin.
It'll fuck you up on heroin.
If you got 2 people OD'd and saved, 2 people OD'd, and then like 5 dead altogether.
That's some bad heroin.
I think there's plenty of shit to do out in Staten Island.
Oh shit.
So to you, Lori Gallo Bevard.
You.
Heroin snorting enthusiast. You, dear madam, are this week's winners of the Fred G. Samford Award for Excellence in Stupidity.
You dummy!
Congratulations.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Let's do some hot takes, kids.
All right.
News and notes from all 4 corners of the pop culture world.
And the sign gotta stay hot! You gotta stay hot! You gotta stay hot!
It's time for some hot takes.
All right. So, and I'm pretty sure you guys haven't gone to see it, but old Justice League came out.
Yeah, no, we haven't seen it.
Have you seen any of the DC movies yet? Man of Steel, Dawn of Justice, Wonder Woman,
Wonder Woman.
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
So you're a little hip to it.
Yeah, we're a little hip.
Yeah. Well, you know, I told the horror story about going to the, or attempting to go to the moving picture show Thursday night. Mm-hmm. So I didn't get, poor TJ didn't get his world premiere.
Yeah.
Lording it all, you know, above everyone who couldn't give 2 shits either, you know. But, you know, I'll admit it's a good flick. I would recommend seeing it in the theater.
Yeah.
Just because those kind of movies you have to.
Yeah.
You know, you want the big special effect, you know, type of shit. You want to have that. Mm-hmm. And I hadn't read anything about it online as far as reviews or anything like that until after I watch it. Just because I want to see. Just because after I give out my thoughts, my, again, knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that it's, you know, that it's not tainted by others.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And really, my bitching was pretty much on the same level as everybody else's.
Yeah.
You know? Good movie. I mean, good. The casting was excellent. Like, I think Ezra Miller is the name of the cat that plays the Flash. Uh-huh. And it's great. Because I don't know if you guys have watched any of the CW, The Flash, the TV show on the CW.
No.
Well, the big online stink, you know, there was a whole thing, hashtag not my Flash, because this kid on the CW, everyone loves and adores him.
Yeah.
You know, this show is just, get you right there in the boo-boo. It's just, you know.
In the boo-boo.
And a lot of people were wanting him to be in the movie. And, I mean, you know how scheduling conflicts and all that type. It just wasn't going to fucking happen.
Yeah.
So they get this Ezra Miller kid, and, you know, it was kind of, everyone was kind of like, well, he's not my Flash. I just hate him automatically. It's like, no, just, you know, give the boy a chance.
Yeah.
Let him do his thing. And it's actually pretty damn funny and entertaining.
Yeah.
Because, you know, playing the role of a speedster, right? Runs real fast.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Flash. That's what he does. And he makes him like so frantic and neurotic that it's funny to watch, because he'll like sit there and as he's acting it's like he'll talk and he'll stop mid sentence and he'll sit here and like his eyes will like twitch around and he'll kind of like fidget, and then he'll go off on a different tangent because he's having like a million thoughts running through his mind in a split second type of a deal, right? And, you know, there's a funny bit where he talks about, you know, bitching about why the hell people do brunch. Stand in line for an hour just to eat. People are slow.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, like I dug it. It was really good. And of course, God, Gal Gadot. When they first had her, announced her, and started doing pictures of her as Wonder Woman, I said, "Fuck, she's too small. She's too skinny. She's supposed to be an Amazon."
Yeah.
You know, what was it? Snoo.
Yeah.
Snoo. But 3 movies in, I'm digging her.
Yeah.
And she ain't too bad on the eyes.
No.
That's always a key thing there. And some previous hosts hate Ben Affleck as Batman.
Yeah.
I dig me the Batfleck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I you know, and I got to think about it. I think I know why. I think I know why I enjoy this Batman so much.
Great jawline.
Sure, there's that. Yeah. When you look at like the old Michael Keaton Batman from '89.
Yep.
Okay. And you look at the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight with Christian Bale.
Yep.
Okay. Now, granted, the Tim Burton version is a little more surreal in its design because it's Tim Burton. That's just how he is.
Yep.
Yeah.
But both of them were still based and centered in some form of reality. In that you weren't going to have, crazy superpowered mutants. We're going to have this. I mean, the Joker was a gangster.
Yeah.
And these type of things happen, and it was even more so set in reality with the Dark Knight trilogy with Chris Nolan. That was his whole edict on it was, what would it be if Batman actually existed in the real world?
Yeah.
Whereas now we get it in more of a comic booky tone.
Book, yeah.
You've got Atlanteans, you've got Amazons, you've got Superman and the Kryptonians.
Yeah.
You've got all these various things, and he's just like the rich dude with a bunch of gadgets.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's that. But it gives it more. There's more of a comic booky feel to it.
Yeah.
Like in the first 20 minutes, he's fighting one of Darkseid's minions, the parademons is what they call them, right? And you wouldn't get that in any of those other type of movies. So, I mean, it's very much in the comic book universe. And I think I just appreciate that more.
Yeah.
As a longtime comic book geek that I am. But the problems with the movie, number one, the villain was a bad choice, I thought.
Yeah.
They used, Steppenwolf, and of course, insert your Born to Be Wild joke there. Who's the nephew of like the king, huge, big, bad daddy Darkseid.
Okay.
I think they should have used him. I think they could have used a Superman villain, Brainiac, would have been a great one to use. Like someone who's going to give you world-destroying power, but have a name that people will at least recognize going into it.
Yeah.
As opposed to 90% of the audience saying, who the fuck is Steppenwolf and why should I care?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The CG, a little bit weak.
Really?
But it's still, if you're just going in and just enjoying it for what it is, I think I gave it a 3.75 out of 5. Because it wasn't bad enough to be a 3.5.
Yeah.
Not that 3.5 is bad.
Yeah.
It's just that's middle of the road.
Yeah.
It wasn't, but it wasn't good enough to be a 4. But I still thought it was better than 3.5. So I figured, what the hell? It's my rating review. I'll
right, you
do
can
whatever the
you
fuck
want.
I want.
Absolutely.
I do what I want.
I'll make that motherfucking pie number if I want to.
It just goes on and on and on. But at the end of the day, I mean, I would recommend check out the film, see the film. There's plenty of like little cameo Easter eggs for all of us uber comic nerds,
Nice.
but it doesn't inundate you so much if you haven't seen the movies. I mean, fuck, it's Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. You know who the fucking characters are.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I think the first 20 to 30 minutes can be confusing to people who don't really know the mythology of the various stuff.
Yeah.
Once you get past that, you're golden. So just if you go to it, or if you just watch it when it's on the Netflix or you rent it or whatever, make sure you just get past the first half hour.
Yeah. Okay.
And then it just coasts, and then boom, you're just into the very simple good guy versus bad guy story, and it's worth it. There you go.
Nice.
So
Yeah, I want to check it out.
That's the only time we watch movies like, what's TJ say?
yeah, that's exactly.
What's the rating? What's TJ's rating?
What's that old knee-jerk review? What's that guy got to say about that? So the drizzling.
My favorite. I'm not really into Batman. I know it and stuff, but my favorite is Wolverine. Marty knows I am a huge Wolverine fan. So any of the Wolverines, that's
I like the X-Men movies and I like the Wolverine stuff, but they've never been like my upper echelon.
Really?
And I think probably because it's goofy to say this, but it didn't come off to me. It came off as like, what if mutants existed in the real world?
Sure.
Yeah.
And I want that comic book escapism.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, I want, like Spider-Man in the red and the blue, Captain America in the red and the blue, Iron Man in the golden and red. You know, I want those vibrant colors popping out on screen while shit's getting blown up and witty catchphrases are flinging around.
Reminds me of the Spider-Man ride.
Oh yeah.
We went on the Spider-Man ride and Universal, and it was. I highly recommend that you go to it. Like,
is it like a roller coaster, or is it like you sit in a box and it just kind of moves up and down while the screen?
Well, you do, but that.
Well, it's like a car.
But the best part is when you enter. We had a fast pass, so when you enter, you have to walk through, and it's like a maze that you kind of walk through. But it's all of the they set it up as all the scenes from parts of the old Spider-Man. So the office, you walk through the office, then you walk through all these file cabinets. Do you remember seeing those?
Yeah.
And then
you walk through like the dark room
where they hold
he
like
does the photos.
Yeah, and then there's a science lab. You walk through that, like a laboratory, and then you actually get to the ride, and then you have to put on your glasses. And immediately I knew there was going to be some kind of water because the seats were wet, and I was like, crap.
That's from people pissing themselves in excitement.
And we had Sawyer. She was tall enough to go as long as she had a rider. And I'm thinking, oh, well, it's not going to be anything that dramatic because, for one, there's only a bar on your lap and kids can come. So we get on, and it is because each place has their own building, and the buildings are big. So this little roller coaster thing that seats probably 4 rows with 5 people in each row, so 20 people a car. It does go around. You are going through that building that they made.
Okay, so it's on a track. I mean, it's running through a monorail-ish type track.
Yeah.
And then you have these glasses on, and it is 3D, and it's not just getting wet like was that when the Waterman came out? He was protecting us from that water guy.
Yeah, Spider-Man was beating up the water dude.
Yep, and the water guy went to punch us, and of course you get hit with water.
that's when the little Mexicans just standing out there flicking and squirting at you with us.
And we get that, and then you go into the next, you get out of here, and then you go into a next scene, and you fall thousands of feet down from, it looks like the Empire State Building or something, and it really feels like you are falling down because of the graphics they have are so amazing. And then the heat guy, remember that guy who had the heat? He had this like heat hand. It blows hot air on you, and it gets this close to your face, and it's like, how hot is this gonna get? Sawyer's face. I mean, I held on to her because once I got in and all this was going on, I'm like, oh shit, she's gonna be fucking terrified, because I was like, this is definitely not what I pictured for her. And her face was like, the whole time she wouldn't move. She was, I held her in my arm, and she was just, she just couldn't move. She was just like, I know in her mind, let's just get it done. Let's just get it done. Is it done? Oh, there's another one coming, and then we got out of there, and she goes, I'm like, come on, baby. And she's like, okay, stepping out of it,
to some Dr. Seuss
yeah,
rides
we gotta go to a very little kid ride to get that out of her head. That's definitely not what she was expecting. Yeah. So, and she likes that stuff. She really enjoys, ever since we first got her when she was 3, the old school Batman cartoons, the old ones.
Okay.
She loves those. She picks that over a lot of I think little girl, stuff.
Okay, well, hold on. When we're talking old school, are we talking like the 92 animated series with Mark Hamill as the Joker? Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
God, I feel so old when you guys are calling
I
it
know,
old.
but like to me,
old school.
as a girl, I was never into that, you know what I mean? Especially that young. I mean, I watched, obviously, but I watched Dinosaurs. Remember that? Mm-hmm. I'm the baby. Yep. Gotta love me.
Yep.
I watch stuff like that. So I'm like, don't you want to watch My Little Pony? No, I want to watch this. I'm like, okay, I guess. Do you want to watch the newer version? No, I don't like that one. Okay.
Well, at least she likes the good one. That's the key. At
right.
least she likes the good one. Yeah. But I'm just saying, when we're sitting there fucking talking old school, it's like shit. I think old school. I'm thinking like the old Filmation from like the 60s and 70s with Casey Kasem as Robin.
Right.
The fucking
Pow.
the Hanna-Barbera fucking
Remember that?
Super Friends. That's
old.
That's
old
my
school.
old school. That's my old school.
Sure.
And then I think Andy was here when we were talking about fucking this was like the 25th anniversary of the Batman the Animated Series.
Really? Wow.
And I just thought, oh my god, it did come out in 92.
It's crazy.
Fuck, I was a sophomore in high school. I feel so old.
You were a sophomore in 1992?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I graduated in 94.
Okay. And you were at Capitol.
Yes.
So did you graduate? You graduated with my uncle, right?
He was a year behind me.
Okay.
He was 95.
So I was 5 in 1992.
Well, no shit.
You want to hear something? I graduated 5th grade in 2000.
Oh, good for you.
You just want to bust my balls today. Is that what
My husband
this
loves
is?
hearing this. He loves hearing. I'm like, babe. I showed him. We were packing up some of our stuff, and I found my 5th grade. That little yearbook they give you, or whatever, graduation in middle school.
Yeah.
And I look at it, and it says, "What do you want to be?" Or "What are you scared of middle school? Like, what are you worried about?" I was looking at it, and it was 2000. Yeah, it was 2000. And I was showing Marty, and I was like, I was in 5th grade in 2000. Now, mind you, I got held back a year, and I'm a October baby. So I don't get to start. I never got to start school until I was 6. So I'm already 2 years in the rears. So I was older than everybody in every class I was in. So.
My name is Travis, and the Moose Store.
If that makes you feel any better.
Not really.
Okay. Makes me feel better.
I just sit here and say, yeah, and you want to flip him shit about the classes, and you were the one that was held back.
My dad was in the Navy. We traveled all the time. So, they feel that you weren't. And actually, you want to call it held back. What I was in is I went to 1st grade. I went to kindergarten, then I went to pre-first. Then I went to 1st grade, which is, it's fucking 1st grade twice. I don't care what they say. It was the same damn teacher, too. So I don't, but whatever.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Kenzie's parents, we're, she did okay in kindergarten. I mean, she knew her numbers, and she was good. She could count to potato just fine. Color recognition. I mean, she knows the difference between red and blue, but we're still working on identifying them as red and blue. So, here's the thing. Here's what we're gonna do. If this doesn't work, you go ahead and you let us know. You go ahead and let us know. Now we can keep her in kindergarten another year, but oh boy, they're just gonna rip her apart.
Yeah.
Those 1st graders are just going to rip her apart for that. So we're going to devise a thing here, and we're going to call it pre-1st grade.
Right.
Just to kind of
Break things
give her
up
a little
bit.
help. Just to give her a little help.
Oh, shit.
Well, Mr. Teacher, how many people are going to be in this pre-K?
Just your daughter.
This is Mr. and Mrs. Mr. and Mrs. McKenzie's parents talking at the same time. So yeah, it's just going to be the generic boss for the parents.
Sound just like them.
I know.
Shit.
So how many's going to be in this class? Well, that's the great thing about it. She is going to have very specialized and focused attention brought to her because she's going to be the only one in the class.
She gets the best one-on-one care ever.
The ratio is outstanding.
You're going to get your money's worth.
It's public school system, isn't it?
I know, exactly.
Pre-first was public school system, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, tax dollars at work.
Yes.
Fortunately, I was living in Jersey at the time, so it wasn't mine.
Gonna say.
How old
Probably-
were you? Wait, what grade were you in when you, in 92?
92? 7th grader.
Could you imagine being a 7th grader and like, I can't wait to date a kindergartner?
I don't
great?
bring this shit
Oh,
up.
sure. Seventh
What do you
grade.
think about it like that?
Seventh grade Marty standing outside the elementary school.
My
Recess
future
bell
wife
rings.
is in
You
kindergarten
looking
right
good.
now.
I keep getting older and they keep staying the
They
same
stay the
age.
same.
That's great.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's such a dark, dark show.
So dark.
But that's okay. Speaking of dark, holy shit. News this past week.
Yeah.
Charlie Manson's in the hospital.
Why?
Well, apparently he's not feeling too well.
He's really,
83
really
years old.
So
83.
he didn't get released.
Oh, God, no.
Okay.
Fuck, no.
He was up for
You
a
were trying
parole.
to tell me he was released.
because I
like,
was watching.
He did not get released.
The Philip DeFranco, and he had brought something up on that show, and I thought that he was maybe it was he was gonna be like he was trying. What's that called? Parole hearing.
Oh, he's had multiple parole hearings.
And he got married. This woman married him in prison.
I know they were going to, but the license expired. So that never really went through. It was and she was 26.
Yes.
Like Afton Louise something or other.
And it wasn't
was
even
her
a woman
name,
that she wasn't in jail or nothing like that. She has an obsession with.
She was a devotee.
Yep.
And you know what I mean? The crazy thing was, I'm not going to say that I was like a devotee or anything like that. But there was about a year there where I had seen the old movie. I think it had come out in like 78 or 79, Helter Skelter.
Okay.
And God damn it, for the life of me, I can't remember the actor's name that played Manson. But he was like creepy spot on.
Okay.
When you watch him, it was just eerie how close he was to being Manson. You know what? While you're on the phone there, Marty, if you want to do an IMDb search on Helter Skelter, and remind
He
me.
was looking at him. Yeah.
God, I think his name's Steve.
Oh, the 1976 one?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Steve Railsback.
Railsback?
Steve Railsback. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Okay. Yeah.
And he does.
Oh, dude,
Look
yeah.
at this picture.
I mean, he was.
I mean, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing, and I was, like I said, I'm not going to say that I was crazy obsessed with it, but I read the book, I followed up on everything.
Mm-hmm.
Again, listen to if you ever listen to any Sam Kinison's stand up, he had a bit about the Manson family and poor Wojciech Fryczowski, the poor bastard was just going out and having himself a little fun over party at the house, and then he stabbed 15 times. You forgot to fuck me in the ass, fuckers, and all that shit. But so, anyways, so then as I'm doing my studying on it, I think I found out where my weird connection to it came from. The Sharon Tate murders happened on my mom's 18th birthday.
Weird.
Really?
Yeah. So there was that, little bit of a connection there.
Okay.
So that's, but I mean, it's story off to the side. But yeah, no, they brought him in. They haven't said specifically why. And as we're recording this, he is still alive. The accounts are varied as to whether, he's on his deathbed, he's in grave critical condition, he's this, he's that. The fact is, none of the information has really been released other than he's in the hospital. And I think a lot of that falls into HIPAA law. Mm-hmm. It falls into,
I was just reading about it was medical discretion or whatever.
Well,
medical privacy laws.
Right. With
so
state.
all they can say is he's
state and
alive.
Fed. Yeah. He's there. And that's really all we know at this point. Yeah. But my biggest concern on this is that back in January when he was in the hospital and they had him in there, it was like for an intestinal lesion. Mm-hmm. They eventually did release that info.
Yeah.
Well, me and Jason had ourselves a bet.
Yeah.
I said he would live past 2017.
You're close. Uh-huh. You're real close.
If he dies, I owe him $1.
That's what your main concern is? I'm thinking.
Just make it. You know what? 12/01, January 1st, kick off.
Yep.
Just make it through the year.
Now that he's in prison, I mean, because he's in prison and he's in the hospital, but because of his crimes and stuff, I wonder if they hire a security guard or a police guard.
Oh, they've got like
that
7. Yeah.
are in that hospital room
Yes.
24/7.
Yes. Yes, they have. They've already said that because not only of who he is, but he's also he's a horrible inmate.
Yes.
You know, starting fights, spitting on staff.
Yep.
He threw hot coffee at a staff person one time. You know, I mean, he is. Yeah, they've got security around because all you have to do is have one person who was maybe a friend of the Tate family or the Folger family or you know, poor Wojciech Fryczowski's third cousin. Someone's got a vendetta, and they can finally do what no one, you know, what the Supreme Court or federal, the California Supreme Court did. Because this right here, and again, I've never really been one to be Mr. fucking politic on this show, but that right there is a prime reason of why I support the death penalty.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm surprised he's still alive in prison, to be honest with you.
In 1972, the California State Supreme Court put a temporary ban on the death penalty. Yeah. So when that happened, they converted his sentence into 9 life sentences. He has been living on California tax dollars since 1972.
Yeah.
45 years. And how much money has it cost to house him and feed him after he's murdered not just those 2 nights, but shit, the people out at the Spawn Ranch when they were, you know, they killed a ranch hand there. Yep. I mean, he's killed, I mean, and Lord knows how many people before and during that time. Yeah. You know, but no, we'll go ahead because, you know, the death penalty, that's just wrong. Sorry, you know, I understand there's always exceptions to the rule. I get it. You know, there's been cases of where somebody was killed under the death penalty and then it turns out like 5 years later they had the wrong man. I get it. I understand that.
Well, that's him.
But I'm sorry, when I look at crazy ass Charles Manson with the swastika carved in his fucking skull, and you watch any of those goddamn parole hearings, shit, they had an interview with him on 2020. The guy is just fucking out there.
Yes. But he's a danger to society at all costs. He's never gotten better. That's why I said, I'm surprised he's still alive in prison. You know, I'm surprised other people haven't taken care of that because...
Fuck, in that community,
But he's a very persuasive person. He probably get a bunch of followers or something.
I can see where you're coming from, but that's my thing is he's probably got protection because the race there is race separatism.
Oh yes,
you know, in the prison.
know.
And I mean, just even having the swastika on his head and what he said, you know, regarding you know, blacks and Jews and all that. No, I'm with you on that. I'm surprised someone hasn't killed him, but I also wouldn't be surprised on the level of protection from the white side.
Yeah, I didn't think of that, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so but like I said, I mean, at the end of the day, that you know that's one of those things I will always stick to my guns on. That he should never have made it past 1972. Yeah. You know, let alone. I mean, shit.
They've executed people that have done less crimes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Crazy.
I mean, but so, I mean, at this point, like I say, he's in the hospital, varying degrees of what have you.
Okay.
I just don't want to lose $1.
Hold on.
just you got yourself just a month and a couple weeks, bud. Hold on.
You can do it.
Just hold on.
And then you cut your head off.
Midnight, January 1st. Bye-bye. Go. See you in hell.
Right.
Let Pinhead and the Cenobites take you away.
Oh, Charles, we've been waiting for you.
That's exactly.
So on to a little bit of lighter fare. You know, it's funny how I'm always sitting there saying we never have anything to fucking talk about. Man, there was some shit that was just, you know, just crazy little shit that went on in the news this week.
Yeah.
Fucking a painting by Leonardo da Vinci sold at auction for $450 million.
Crushed the previous record.
Crushed it.
What was the previous record?
Somewhere around like 125 or 2 maybe. somewhere in that. Yeah, I know. Well, that's only 75 million, but I mean that's in that ballpark. Yeah, it's like the last of the Da Vinci paintings.
Oh, okay.
Finally out of circulate. That it was in a private collection, and now it's wherever. But this painting also has some pretty crazy ass fucking history to it.
Yeah.
Really?
So I printed me up some notes.
Whoa.
Are you showing her the picture of the painting?
Yeah.
Found some little notes online about this, about the history pertaining to Leonardo da Vinci's Salvator Mundi.
Okay.
Which I guess is like Monday's savior in Latin. I don't know. I don't speak Latin, so that'll be my
Sounds
best guess.
good.
Before it became the most expensive piece of art ever sold at auction in 1500. It was around this time that Leonardo paints the painting, most likely for King Louis XII of France and Anne of Brittany, shortly after the conquests of Milan and Genoa. We go to 1625. Believed to have been commissioned by the French royal family, the painting accompanies Queen Hennedy. I think that's the name they're pronouncing there, yeah. Accompanies Queen Hennedy to England, where she marries King Charles I. Then we go to 1651. King Charles I dies in 1649, and shortly thereafter, the canvas is used to settle part of his massive debt. It covers a whopping 30 pounds worth.
Wow.
So roughly this painting that would come up to be like 450 million covered about $20 worth of debt.
Oh my.
So in 1763, after remaining in the royal family's collection for years, the painting goes missing and doesn't surface again for another 150 years.
Holy shit.
So the painting goes missing. This $20 rag of
Why
canvas.
is it always a Nicolas Cage national treasure going on? What is going on here? Nicolas Cage had to be involved.
Well, yeah, we got a couple decades before we get to the Nicolas Cage part.
I know.
Just wait. Just hold on. So in the late 19th century, the painting enters the collection of the Virginia-based Sir Frederick Cook. Then in 1958, fast forward another about 100 years, the Salvator Mundi pops up in a Sotheby's London auction on June 25th, 1958. Attributed to Bolthalfo, who works in a Da Vinci studio, it sells for, you want to take a guess?
$300 or something. Euros. 300 euros?
Well, they didn't have the euro in 1958, but...
Oh, well, whatever.
Well, it's okay, so you're going about $350 American?
Yeah.
Kenzie, you want to take a stab through?
1,500.
1,500? Okay, yeah, you're both well over. It sold for 45 British pounds to someone by the name of Kuntz.
Kuntz!
45 British pounds. I ran the numbers on that. In today's money, that's about $60 American.
What?
$60 American in 1958. You could have had this and made yourself $450 million. But instead, no, you were just waiting to pop out in the year 2000 as a pre-first grader.
I was born in 1987, okay?
So in 2005, the canvas surfaces again at an American estate sale. New York art dealer Alexander Parrish purchases it for another bargain price of $10,000.
What?
Wow.
Then 2013, having authenticated the work as a bona fide Leonardo da Vinci painting, Parrish and a consortium of fellow dealers sell it to Freeport King Yves Bouvier in a private Sotheby's sale for a cost of around $75 to $80 million. Later that year, Bouvier turns around and sells it for $127.5 million to the Russian billionaire Dmitry Rybolovlev.
Yeah.
So right there, in the span of 50 years, you've basically made a 1,000,000% profit.
Yeah.
And the rich Russian guy now just sold it to an anonymous bidder.
And the Rybolovlev puts it in 2017, puts the painting up for sale at Sotheby's, or at Christie's auction house, where it fetches $450.3 million.
Insane.
That is crazy. Could have got it for $60.
$60. If you had ancestors back in the day, $20.
Right.
$20 could have got you that thing. Back in the 1600s.
Man.
Yeah, I need to go find me a Da Vinci painting.
See? And you always get on me for all my
scouring.
estate sales and all my garage sales.
Yeah.
I found the good stuff. And I'm an antiquer. I love my antiques. I am. I love it.
My father also fancies himself an antiquer. Not so much.
No?
No?
There's a reason why amongst the working crew we are known as Fred and Lamont.
You big dummy.
We'll be in. Well, you saw that picture I posted a while back. We were at the consignment store, pawn shop, whatever in Anaconda, and had this little can of Prince Albert tobacco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I made the post of, why, yes, we do. Why do you ask? You know that old phone joke, right?
I don't.
You do the phone prank. Hey, do you got Prince Albert in a can? Why, yes, we do. Let him out. He's choking. Click.
I never did that to anybody. My brother always did that. I was next to him. The refrigerator running.
He calls the
That
bowling
kind of
alley.
crap.
Hey, do you guys got 10-pound balls?
Yeah.
Why, yes, we do. How to get your pants on? Click.
Yeah, my brother did a ton of that stuff. So my biggest thing is I always called 911. So my grandpa.
Oh, that's a great fucking prank to do. Call 911.
My grandpa literally, I started doing it at 6 years old. My grandpa he just said it tonight. Susie 911, because my real name is Susie Q. And he calls me Susie 911 all the time. And I would call them up. I remember looking at the phone on the wall, becoming that age where I'm like, why haven't I ever grabbed this and used it on my own? And I knew 911. I don't know how, but I did. And I'd call them and talk to them and then hang up. And then I start saying funny stuff and then hang up. And then they come to your house. And my mom was not thrilled. And she beat my ass. Oh, yeah. I broke into houses. I went above and beyond. Got out of my system. I broke into military housing at that. So military police brought me back to my mom at 4 years old. I was Sawyer's age doing this stuff. Yeah. Hell yeah. My mom, oh boy. Yeah. So.
And you married her.
Yeah.
I'm a Scorpio. I'm balls to the wall, so I'm
I'm the one who went to resource class.
like he's my mellow. We totally, so many people say this, we totally even each other out. Because I have so many, like when you were just talking about, you have ideas going bah, 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 at all times. That's me. Like I am constantly, and he's like, okay, cool. Sounds good. Yeah, I guess I'll come. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
you're forgetting part of that too. It's phone in hand, going
yeah, that's another. Yeah, you have no idea. I always tell them like, get off your fucking phone. But
Looking
yeah.
stuff up. I like to be informed.
Oh. If somebody comes to our house and is going to break in, he ain't going to be the one running out there with the gun. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Oh no,
It's
we've got audio proof on that. You don't think that won't be on the best of? You're kidding yourself.
No, he literally. We've had one teenage kid was trying to sneak out his girlfriend, our next door neighbor, and I was like, "Oh my god, we have to go out there." He goes, "Why? No, let's stay in here." It's like, no, because if it's somebody trying to lurk around the house, so I'm going out to my car to pull my car around to point my headlights at him so I can see, because where we live it's pretty dark. Mm-hmm. And I'm like going down the stairs and I'm thinking he's behind me. I'm like, you coming? And he goes, he's closing the door. He goes, no, I'll stay inside.
You dick.
I'm like, are you kidding me? But he did. He did walk out the front door, and I went up and the kid was like, oh, I got a phone call and it's illegal to text and drive. So, all right, yeah, whatever. And I was like, and then I hear this plump. And I see the girl sneaking out of our neighbor's window. Like I said hi to her parents a couple times. We don't really know each other, but she's running and she sees me and she's like, I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to tell on you, dude. But next time, pick up your girlfriend down at the Green Meadow, okay? I don't give a shit. Like, come on.
Well, so that I do have to ask, did you narc her out?
No, we never
Oh,
did.
that's good of you.
No.
Look at you.
We're hip with the kids.
Yeah, we're
They're the cool neighbors.
We're the cool neighbors.
yeah. She snuck out a lot too. I'd always catch her running out of the house, and I'm like, "Jeez,
You're gonna
kids
get
these
pregnant.
days, right?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that painting's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Is that what we were talking about?
Yeah, where were we?
So, a story that I was actually, that I kind of, I wouldn't even say I slept on. I didn't even know about it until a friend of the show, Kim Monroe from Twisted Designs. We were talking to just standing there BSing, and she had brought this to me. I wasn't even aware of this, but apparently San Diego Comic-Con is all butthurt that Salt Lake Comic-Con is getting successful, and like over the past year started litigation and trying to sue Salt Lake for the rights to the name Comic-Con.
Really?
Yeah. And I understand, a portion of it. I mean, Salt Lake has been getting huge over the years.
Yeah.
Like when they first started, I think they pulled like maybe 40,000 or something like that. And they run 2 shows a year. They run what they call the Fan X, which is, I believe the Fan X is earlier in the year. And then the Salt Lake Comic Con itself, like Fan X, I think runs anywhere from January to March. I think they pushed out to March just because winter kind of is
it's hard for people to travel.
shitty driving.
Yeah.
And then the Salt Lake Comic Con is like in September.
Yeah.
Right. And they've grown. I mean, now the Comic Con in itself is pushing damn near 200,000 people.
Wow.
Coming in.
Wow.
It's impressive.
It's the Salt Palace, and Salt Lake is actually relatively centralized. That you can get people from California, Nevada, Idaho, Montana, Arizona. You can get all of them up in that area. And the Salt Palace is freaking huge.
Those Mormons know what they're doing.
Oh yeah. Won't drink caffeine, but you'll own Coca-Cola.
Right?
They know what they're doing, all right. Yes, they do. And I mean, I've had nothing but great experiences working the Salt Lake show.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly thought when the first time we were going there, I was nervous about it because in the second issue of Enigma, there's a scene, there's a panel where we have a character who has been been killed by the serial killer, and he's got blasphemer written in blood across his stomach. And the minute we got there, I'm like, oh shit, someone's gonna see that. We're gonna get run out of town in fucking pitchforks.
Yeah.
With, pitchforks. The villagers are gonna be chasing us with their shit. I'm like, fuck. But you know what? Push forward. It's comic books.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. And we had such a good response.
Yeah.
It floored me.
Have you been to both places?
I have not, and I probably won't ever do San Diego.
Okay.
Because of the fact that it is more of a pop culture movie pushing
Okay.
thing. The comic in Comic-Con really no longer applies there anymore. I mean, you still have something around, but even people in the industry will say, no, it's just, meh.
Yeah.
Pretty much everyone just goes there to A, be a cosplayer and be seen, or B, go to Hall H where they do all of the big premiere trailer releases for Marvel movie, Disney movie, DC movie, whatever, Star Wars, whatever is coming, whatever the big thing is coming out, that's where they're going to do the big premiere for the release of the trailer.
Yeah.
And everyone just fucking shits themselves over it. and so, to that end, so I guess the guys that run San Diego are getting pissy because Salt Lake is really building up.
Yeah.
So they decided, well, we're going to sue for the fucking name Comic-Con and all rights to that name and try to fucking win the case, copyright, trademark, or what the fuck ever. And in the Facebook statement, because here back on August 31st, the appeals judge lifted the gag order on Salt Lake. So Salt Lake can now talk about it.
Yeah.
Because here again, San Diego's like, they're going to shit talk us on the fucking social media. And it's like, well, you're the one suing them, so yeah. I'd shit talk you too.
Right.
So on their Facebook page, yeah, update Comic-Con, Salt Lake versus San Diego Comic-Con case goes to trial November 28th. That's why I was making that's why I put this in news, because it is going to trial on the 28th.
Wow.
So in a statement on Facebook, they say, Salt Lake says, in the last month, we had discussed the idea of crowdfunding legal fees to allow fans and promoters of Comic-Cons from around the country to show moral and financial support for this ongoing legal battle with San Diego comic conventions. Currently, we have incurred over $1.5 million in legal fees defending the myriad of Comic-Con's rights to be called Comic-Con. San Diego Comic-Con is claiming ownership and on all forms of the term Comic-Con. Even though the term has been used for over 50 years by independent conventions in virtually every state in the country. And they are asking millions in damages because we use the term Comic-Con. They claim, excuse me, they claim this ownership gives them the right to license the name and regulate the nature of Comic-Cons across the country. We are greatly encouraged by the opinion of the Ninth Circuit Court stating the case has drawn nationwide attention and discussion on traditional and social media alike, in part because Comic-Cons have been held in hundreds of venues across the United States. If the case goes to appeal, we already have been acknowledged by the appeals court in San Francisco of the ubiquitous nature of the term Comic-Con. So the court's already saying, yeah, this is kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
And I can't remember which specific judge said it, but they're not going to throw it out.
Really?
To me, this is the stupidest fucking thing. I mean, I'm on the side of Salt Lake on this one.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because, number one, you can't, I mean, like I said, everybody has been using the phrase Comic-Con.
Yeah, since 1950.
Yeah. And I've got friends who, you know, when I tell them, you know, like, yeah, you know, I got to go work a show, do this, do that. And they'll say, oh, I want to go to Comic-Con. And I look at them because I already know what they're referring to, which is San Diego.
Yeah.
Because that's, you know, the big high king daddy echelon that everybody knows about.
Yeah.
And then I kind of hip them to the fact that, well, there's a shit ton of Comic-Cons. Yeah. They're not owned by the same thing. It's just a term that's used.
Yeah.
And the way that I like in this, and I don't know, I can't remember if we had talked about this or if this was the one we were talking about where I said, I'm going to save it for the show. I can't remember what we were talking about
I remember.
The other night on that. But to me, the phrase Comic-Con, whether it's San Diego being the high Comic or whatever, to me it's like using the phrase Kleenex.
Yeah.
Kleenex, yes, it's a brand. But McKenzie, if you got a box of puffs over there, I'm not going to say, hey, would you hand me a puff? Here, Marty, you know, I'm feeling a little bit of snot up here. Would you hand me a facial tissue?
Yeah, no one uses that.
Hey, would you hand me a Kleenex?
I'll give you a facial.
Yeah. You need a facial tissue for that one? You know, same thing. I'm not going to sit there and say, hey, could you hand me a cotton swab? No.
Men don't own cotton balls.
Should hope fucking not.
Mine are pretty firm.
Seinfeld. I've never needed a cotton ball in my entire life.
But you know, cotton swab,
yeah.
Right? You know, you say fucking Q-tip, right?
Yeah.
Give me a Q-tip. So I mean, it's the same thing here. It doesn't matter what show it is. You refer to it as Comic-Con.
Sure, yeah.
And I think this is, it's stupid on San Diego's part for two, at least in my view, two reasons. Number one, like I said, the crazy amount of money you're spending in court for this.
Yep.
Yeah.
When the odds are that you're going to fucking lose.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's all money driven. So.
Well, they're suing Salt Lake for millions of dollars, right?
Yes.
That's what you said?
They're suing for the rights to the name and damages.
Damages, yes. So, with that damages, what's the amount?
What
did it
fucking
say?
damages do you incur?
Be by using the name. They're saying that it
Names hurt my feelings.
Well, yeah, and here's the thing. You know, fucking San Diego runs their show at the end of July.
Yeah. So it's before.
Salt Lake runs their show in September.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so their show goes
The damages they're worried about is fucking, okay, you may have some people from Salt Lake that don't go to the show. I want to spend that money. I could be, I may use on hotel and tickets for that, and I can use it over here. So what? You're fucking San Diego. You have people from around the world coming in.
Yeah.
Fuck you. That's, I mean,
Right.
and then, and when eventually they lose, well, then at that point, they're going to want to try to distance themselves away from the Comic-Con name, even though that's a brand that has been built up.
Right.
And how many more millions are you going to be spend to rename, rebrand, and all that shit? I mean, it's just this is a waste of time and money.
It is.
It is
Fact. So
But let them figure that out, obviously.
Well, obviously.
Well, because I mean, and it reaches across the board, because if they fucking win this, there's precedent set.
Yeah, that's true.
So then all of a sudden you've got, the fucking Sheboygan Comic Con has to fucking license this shit.
Oh, God.
Yeah, this fucking litigious society kills me, man. It fucking kills me.
It's crazy. Bunch of bitches.
That's exactly what they are.
San Diego means whale's
Snowflake
vagina.
fucking bitches. Right?
Goddamn fucking snowflakes! Fucking snowflakes! Fuck! Spend all that money? Fuck that, fucker! You fucking stupid! Fuck that! Just give it to me! I'll get Cowboy season tickets, motherfucker!
Ridiculous. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Oh, all right. Well, let's go ahead here. We'll wrap up the old second segment here. We'll come back with some little bit of horrible moments in Marty history, or maybe there's a surprise, kids.
There might be.
There might be.
All right, kids. So we will be right back with a little bit more fun. Squad M Show. Stay tuned.
In a city where corruption rules the streets, only one man can stop the serial killer known as the Blood Bandit. James Kurt, a former police officer turned private investigator, must race against the clock to stop the madman before he achieves his ultimate diabolical goal. When JK's brother Alex is thought killed in the line of duty and mysteriously returns with no memory of his past life, the stakes are raised even higher. Enigma, the comic book series from Quad M Productions, written and illustrated by TJ Damon, with colors and effects by Jason Vickers. Enigma. Order your copy at quadmproductions.com today.
Hello and welcome to TJ's Bowling Scores for the week. I'm Connie Limbus. This week Dribble Cup rolled a 156, a 122, and or 151 for a 429 series. For fuck's sake, you extra chromosome totem piss freak. Do you know the meaning of the word consistency? I've taken shits with more intelligence than you. Too bad your life isn't as short as your penis. I heard you took an IQ test and the results came back negative. I swear bacteria is the only culture you have. Well, I suppose that wraps it up for this week. See you next time for more scathing insight into the world of mediocrity. That is TJ. Until then, I'm Connie Limbus. Fuck you and good night.
You're listening to the Quad M Show. Segment 3.
Welcome back to the third and final segment of this here Quad M Show. Again, we are your hosts. I'm TJ.
And I'm Marty.
Boy, oh boy, really great work, bitches!
And joining us as a special guest,
McKenzie.
yay. And this segment is brought to you in part by DeeplyDapper.com. Now, you've heard us go on and on about all that sweet merch that you can pick up at DeeplyDapper.com. Original art prints at DeeplyDapper.com. Original art prints and books, vinyl wrapped metal flasks, custom key hangers and light switch plates, as well as those handmade soaps, all based on your favorite pop culture properties. But there's so much more. Get on over there to DeeplyDapper.com today. Check out the 3D Pod Casket and the Robot Kraken podcasts. He's running some Kickstarter campaigns with enamel buttons and all that type of stuff. So if you're a fan of get out there, help support him, get in on some of that action. I guess enamel pins are supposed to be a thing now.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah, he's trying to con me into doing some Enigma pins.
really?
There you go.
Which if I did, I'd just do the logo.
Yeah.
Because, the characters, while fantastic, the branding isn't quite there yet.
Yeah.
But shit, yeah, you can sell those things for like $5-10 a pop, and it's a thought.
Yeah,
What the hell? Why not?
Yeah.
Why
Good
not?
idea.
But get out there, help out, support them. Get out there, listen to the shows, buy the stuff, do the thing. You know, all that stuff. You ain't got no damn excuses. Get out there today. DeeplyDapper.com. Once again, that is DeeplyDapper.com. Better living through tentacles. Tentacles.
And he might have a recipe on there for you.
You might get some good vittles, too. All right, so let's get into this week's horrible moments of Marty history, shall we?
Yeah. Okay.
And now it's time for horrible moments in Marty history.
So, now you were, as we were talking before in the show, and we've kind of hinted a little bit here and there, this may not necessarily be a Marty horrible moment.
Nope.
No, it's not.
And he doesn't ever want it to be.
Yeah. And I hope it never is.
So this time we're going to do horrible moments in Mrs. Kunzweiler history.
Mrs. Marty history.
So,
Okay.
okay. So I have a best friend, JD, and we were heading to Missoula to the Grizz game.
How long ago was this?
Oh, 2011 or 12.
Okay, I was gonna say, what, you were 5?
2002.
No,
I was in 3rd
2011.
grade.
I just celebrated getting out of pre-first.
No.
I done graduated pre-first for the 3rd time.
No, it had to been 2012. Yeah.
I was so happy I kept myself shaven.
Hey, what's going on this side?
Yeah, it had to have been 2012 because Courtney was just leaving to California.
Yeah.
So, anyways, a bunch of us were heading to Missoula to the Grizz game, and we were meeting Caps there. And we go to the Grizz game. We pregame it a little bit. This is when I was a drinker. So
Little tailgating action.
yeah, this is when I was a big time drinker. So we went to our motel room and we had some drinks there, and then we ended up at the game. Game was great, fun. Game ends. Now there's a place down in Missoula called is it Red's Bar? Now if you pay $10 during the Grizz games, you pay $10. You go there before the game. They give you a wristband. They have a school bus that they'll charter you to the game, and then at their little kiosk that they have at the game, you get free beer, free food the entire game for $10 plus a ride. So we signed up for that. We took the bus. We went there. So we drank. It's keg beer, but we drank for free. And then when you're done, they'll charter you back to Red's Bar. And Red's Bar was actually pretty dang close to our motel. And so I don't leave this out. We only could find one motel. We booked late. Actually, we booked our motel when we got there, which was a horrible idea, especially, it was actually a Cat Grizz game. So,
the Brawl of the Wild.
Yep, there's no rooms available usually, but we got lucky. There was one room available at this motel, and I was like, wow, we got lucky for that. I didn't understand why until we got there. We're sitting there's like a bar, kind of a restaurant at the motel, and we're sitting in there, and there are these women dressed in elaborate dresses, and they are all over 6 foot tall. And a lot of them had Adam's apples, and I was like, what the hell? And I remember JD, a couple of them sat at, they were kind of long tables, so it's like, you kind of had to share a table.
My name's Brittany. This is Shanice.
Yeah, it was a drag queen convention going on. And JD is already, one sheet to the wind. And he kind of doesn't know yet, but I totally picked up on it. I was like, what the heck? And they were great. They were fun. I mean, we had a great time with them, but it was weird. I don't know why. I don't know where they all came from, but out of all of their hotel rooms, their shoes, they left outside the doors. I did not understand that. I still don't know why today, but they were like 13s in high heels, which I don't even know how you can even. Where do you find those? Is beyond me.
They're little, the pump actions, little 2x2s.
Jeez. Hung out with them, of course. Had a good combo, and then we went back. We got on. We obviously.
Hold on. Now, see, this is the part where I want to get some details.
Sure.
As we kind of just gloss over. Oh, we hung out with a bunch of trannies. It was a good time. No. So we talk about this friend of yours, JD, who is one sheet to the wind, and he's rather clueless about the situation. How many of the trannies hit on him? Come clean.
None of them, because they were all together. They all had girlfriends. Like, they were all sitting with a spouse of another. You know what I mean?
Whoa, okay.
I don't know if they were together. I thought they were together.
So like the trannies were coming out 2x2, arm in arm, hand in hand, or whatever.
They all had like a partner with them. Like, they were all. It seemed. I don't know. They probably were all together, like, because they were very touchy to every one of them.
Well, they're all touchy. Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen of the culture,
yeah,
I've never participated myself.
But I was making jokes.
There was one Halloween, maybe. But that doesn't count because it was Halloween.
One time in the 80s.
I kept making
cocaine's a hell of a drug.
I kept making jokes. I'm like, Wesley Snipes, Tu Wong Fu. Like, and JD's like, no. I'm like, JD, look under the table. They had skirts.
Look under their dress.
I'm like, look under the table, because we were at the high top, like I said. And
why is there balls hanging under that girl's skirt?
No,
that girl's balls. They're really weird.
He was a total. He had never, I don't think he had ever seen drag queens. Of course, you don't really see it that much in Montana, I guess.
Not in these parts, no.
No, especially, I just, that many of them. And so.
An army.
Yeah, it was an army. Every nationality, too. Every nationality.
Just as I'm wrapping. As I'm wrapping my brain around this, like, okay, drag queen A is partnered up with drag queen B. It's not like drag queen A has an actual woman with him.
Nope.
It's drag queen and drag queen as couples. Okay, that's what I was trying to make sure. Because there's people out there going, that's what she was saying, dumb shit. I got to make sure about these things, and none of them tried to pull anything on your friend.
Not on JD, but on Caps, yes. There was a couple of them on Caps, and he was terrible. He kept going outside to smoke, and he kept wanting to leave, and he was like, this is making me uncomfortable. I can't drink comfortably here. We got to get out of here.
Well, were they actually hitting on him, or were they just they were,
were they
just pulling a rib? Were they ribbing him?
I think they were ribbing him, because they loved, they knew what people thought of them, you know what I mean? And they loved to make uncomfortable people more uncomfortable.
Even more so.
Yes.
Right.
And they drank with us. They were a hoot. They were a great time, actually, but...
Before you figured out, did JD hit on any of them?
No.
Okay, guys, I just wanted to... I was hoping we were...
No, after I had told him, I'm like, dude, I figured it out after I was talking with one of the drag queens. I was like, I figured out it's a drag queen convention.
After you saw him peeing, standing up.
Yeah. That was one thing. JD's like, I ain't going to the bathroom here. I'm pissing outside. I was like, I think they come into my bathroom, actually. But they were funny. So that's where it started, Then we have the game. And then we end up at Red's Bar. And we're drinking and we're dancing. And at this point, I am 3 sheets. I mean, I'm partying. And anytime I get Fireball in me, it's cinnamon whiskey time. And Kenzie's going to have a dance off with everybody in the bar. Like, I get super drunk.
Coyote Ugly up in here, bitches.
The moral of my story, though, is not really about the night of drinking. I mean, it was great. We all end up in the same motel room. We all shared it, right? JD's the worst. He has sleep apnea so bad. If he doesn't have his machine, it's horrible. Marty's been around. I make him sleep when we go camping. I set up the generator outside, hook up a CPAP outside, and make him sleep outside.
Do you ever make him talk like Bane?
Jeez. It's, oh my gosh. It's.
Well, hello, McKenzie.
No. It's horrible.
And I'm pretty sure he still snores through that damn thing, so whatever. But I wake up in the morning after this horrendous night of drinking. And
You've only visited drag queens. I was born into
it.
God. And God.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna start doing that every time he puts on that CPAP machine. So there's 2 queen beds in that room. And my other girlfriends met me down there too. I had they're both ex-girlfriends, but Erin and Nikki. And I wake up. Caps and Nikki are on one bed. Me and Erin are the other. As I wake up, my face,
Wait, where's Bane?
Hold on.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I wake up.
Hold on.
I wake up and my face is pointed at the nightstand, and there's like this Fireball whiskey bottle that's like has a dribble of whiskey left in it. There's some cigarettes in there, so I guess we smoked in the hotel room, probably. Who knows? And there's just wrappers, food. We must have gotten some food at some point. And at cheap motels have that fitted comforter that has the edges that go around. Mm-hmm. Okay, and it's like made of fucking Vietnam twine. Okay, God, it's scratching.
500 thread count bamboo shoots.
Yes, that's exactly it. All me and Erin had were just like the sheet, and the top of our comforter was pulled off on a corner. It was like a little bit on there, and I see 2 feet hanging at the end. I can see it, right? And I'm like, what the fuck? And I noticed one of the recliners in one of the chairs.
This little piggy stay home.
One of the little...
Well, it's not even 6 toes.
Jeez. One of the decorative chairs in the room, the cushion, the base cushion, the seat cushion was missing. And I'm like, what the fuck happened? And so I look over, and JD had pulled off the corner of our bed and used the couch cushion as a pillow.
I was going to say for a mattress.
And he hears me wake up, and he like gets out, and he's like, hey. I was like, fuck, man, what? Oh, hey. And he goes, you guys see that cat? I'm like, there's a fucking cat in here. And he goes, the one that shit in my mouth. And I was like, fuck. He goes, I came home with you guys, right? Because I vaguely remember being out there with a couple drag queens. And I see, and we had their shoes. He stole their shoes outside the motel doors. We had a bunch of size fucking 19 drag queen heels in our room. So anyways, I'm like, JD, these were our friends. Like, he's like, I don't give a fuck. Let's go to breakfast. Okay, so...
Now we're going to see a bunch of hairy knuckle drag queens walking around the hotel.
I felt like straight dog shit. I looked like dog shit. Everybody looked like dog shit. And there was the free continental breakfast before we have to head back to town. And I do not, I'm a girl, so all girls have problem with going to the bathroom number 2 in front of anybody, or, in a room.
Well, you're not going to do it in front of everybody. You go to the bathroom.
Yeah, but I don't like that, okay? I want to be at home. Even if I was just with JD, okay. But there was a bunch of people with us, and I'm like, oh my God, I drank all night, and now I have beer guts going on, and I am petrified at this point, because I'm like, oh my gosh.
Okay, this brings up an interesting question. Is it the fear of is it a performance anxiety, or is it the noises that you're worried about people hearing?
I don't
and giggling?
want people to hear Evel Knievel going on in that echo. Okay, that's what. And I've been known to take some mean shits in my lifetime. Okay, so I'll be honest. I'm the most.
Thank you for that.
I'm the most vulgar girl. Okay, Marty knows.
You care about when people hear it? That's what I
do.
That makes no sense.
People that I'm vulgar to the people I'm comfortable with, I guess. Yeah. But strangers that like.
It's like my problem with pooping in public, which has since gone out the window. Yeah, it's gone out the window years ago.
Yeah.
With my issues, when it comes to that, is if I would go in and go winky tink, and someone's in stall like 3 doors down, and they're blowing out the bottom of the damn toilet. Oh, I'm giggling and snickering and hee-hawing and, and of course, and I'll bail out of there. I mean, the minute I hear a flush or they start moving, boom, I'll bail out of there because I don't want them seeing who's been laughing at them the entire time. And I don't want to see who it is, who I've been laughing at. But I always think to myself, if I'm sitting in there and doing that and there's the other people, there's going to be a whole fucking thing. And shit, at this point, I don't even fucking care anymore.
Right.
So I didn't know if it was a noise thing or like if you had to hover over because like
sometimes we do, and that is very hard when you gotta have damn good leg muscles because if it's a nasty toilet, outhouse, whatever, when you go to Rock and Rivers, it's a hover situation. I would rather, like I said, go outside. It is more sanitary than being in some outhouse, Little John, nasty shit-covered toilet. No way. But men are like, I've asked Marty too, I'm like, do you ever hear guys in the next stall just go to town? He was like, oh yeah, all the time. I'm like, dude, when that happens in a woman's bathroom, women are like, like, no one wants to hear it, Even Sawyer, I've had her in a bathroom stall with me, and there was this older woman, and it was Evel Knievel, like the whole and Sawyer goes, ew, she's pooping over there. I'm like, shut up, shut your mouth, Sawyer's very like, well, she'll say anything off.
There may or may not be a coworker, not El Dorado. There may or may not be a coworker who at one point in time may or may not have shit in a bag because he couldn't get out of the workspace and out of his Tyvek suit quick enough.
Oh.
The human body is a disgusting thing.
Oh,
it just
horrendous.
is. It's fucking gross. It's gross. But anyways.
Yeah, so anyways, back to
I tried to. We were all leaving to go down
Let's talk about your poop now, shall we?
We all tried to go down to the continental breakfast before we left, and my guts were really hurting, like really bad. And so I was like, oh God. But they always have a bathroom down in the common area of the motel room, or the motel itself. So I'm like, usually that's a single bathroom. I'll try there, whatever. And I have stage fright. Like, if somebody comes in, it'll just stop. Like, that's just it. And it's going to hurt. Like, it's bad. So I'm like, my guts are just hurting to a point where you're sweating, So I'm like, oh, and then it passed. And I'm like, oh, I still got to go. I got to try because I've got to get on the highway. I'm going to be with JD, So I went to that bathroom out of order. I'm like, fuck. Well, if everybody's going to go down to eat the breakfast, I'll run back up to the motel room. No one will be in there, and I'll go to the bathroom. Well, of course, I have my 2 girlfriends with me, and they follow me fucking everywhere. It drives me bonkers. And I'm like, no, go eat. And they're like, no, I'll come with you. I don't feel good. I'm hungover. I'm like, God, are you kidding me? And you especially don't want to do it in front of, they're my friends, but like, I still didn't want to do it in front of them. I'm like, dude, this is going to be bad and you're going to hear it. No.
Well, I would figure if you had your friends with you, you'd be doing like that. What was that? Was it Harold and Kumar that had the Battle Shits game?
Oh, God. No. Yes.
We're going to play Battle
White
Shits.
Castle.
You didn't do that?
No.
You didn't do that amongst your friends?
No. And actually...
You say,
I don't know why,
shit.
Because one of the girls,
it's coming
Erin,
out of me like lava.
Yeah. That's in my story, so just hold on. So
I'm sorry, we're
I went up to the room, she followed me, and I had stage fright again. I just could not do it. I'm like, fuck. Well, the feeling went away, like that kind of intense, you gotta go, and then it stops, and then okay. So I'm like, well, maybe I can, it felt good for a while, like it didn't hurt, so I was like, we're leaving. We got to get in the car. Let's go. And JD has been my friend for years. He has seen me in my most nastiest state, and we're still buddies. Okay, I've seen him in his most nastiest state. And we get in his car, and he's driving back. Now, when you come back from Missoula, the one place that's a common stop is Garrison. You've seen Garrison.
Oh, very, okay. Yeah, many, many times.
I'd say about 45 minutes into our drive. I am starting to sweat. And I'm getting to the point where I'm like, I'm gonna shit my pants in his car, but I don't know how to tell him. And it's coming to the point where I'm like, and he's driving, singing, la 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 la. You know, I don't know how he's a big drinker, so he don't get hangovers. And he looks over and he's like, "Are you okay? You are ghost white." Like he goes, and there was sweat coming down my face. And I'm like, I'm holding the chair like, you know, arm up, one cheek just up in the air.
You are full clinch.
Yeah, I'm like, JD, I'm not. And at this point, I'm scared because I'm like, I'm going to vomit. I'm going to puke now, like, because it's going to come out this way, I guess. I don't know. It was almost making me vomit.
Well, and you realize at that point, if you puke, it's coming out both ends at the same time.
Yeah. And so he's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "I hate to tell you this." And I'm in tears. And I'm like, "You have to pull over on the side of the highway and I have to take a shit and you have to block me." And he goes, no, are you kidding me? No, don't. And he's very like dramatic about things. He goes, he's a big man, okay? He's a big man. He goes, "I'm a big guy. What do you mean? I'm not going to block you. People are going to see me standing there. No, don't." And I'm like, "I'm going to shit in your car. Please pull over." And at that point, he is just where you get off the Helena exit. And he goes, "We have Garrison right here." I'm like, "Oh God, okay. I just get me to the bathroom. I'm going to throw up." And it's like coming out, okay? And I
remember, kids, this is that hot voice that's sitting there saying to you,
Segment 3.
She's now literally talking about shitting her pants and vomiting.
I'll come, but I'm laying down when I do it. Yeah. So
Please continue.
We get to Garrison, and I don't know if you guys have been in this position. I know every one of you motherfuckers out there have been in a shitting situation, so don't lie. But when you stand up out of a sitting position, you know, it's even harder because, you know, it wants to come out. I run into that store and I say, "Where's your bathroom?" And JD's right behind me. And they're like, "You can't use it unless you buy something." I'm like, "Fuck." And JD's like, "I'll buy something. If I buy something, you know." And they're like, "Yeah." So I run in there and the fucking door has like a 2-inch gap. And I don't know if you've been to Garrison store. It's very, very tiny. It's an old house that they made into a convenience store. It's all hardwood floors. And I go in there.
Great acoustics.
Yep. I went in there and I turned on the sink and it was like a piss trickle. It wasn't the loud, so I could try to cover up the noise. No, it was like piss trickle. Like, I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Rip down my pants. Get on the toilet, and JD's in the store, mind you, which is only like from the door, the first aisle is only like 2 feet. And he was browsing the store, I guess, and I start shitting, and it is so fucking loud, and I'm screaming because I vomited. I vomited at the same time. And I guess the convenience store guy, it was in a dead eye lock with him and was staring at JD. And JD's in the Slim Jim trying to pick out a Slim Jim. And he goes up and it's still going on as he walks to the counter to pay for the Slim Jim. Then he pays for it and the guy's like, I guess gave JD the most disgusted face ever. At that point, JD walks to stand next to the door to wait for me. And I'm screaming still because my asshole's on fire. And I'm like, as I say, "It's coming out of me like lava." And he hits the door. He goes, "Shut the fuck up." Because at this point, he said a lady came in with 3 of her kids. They're little. And everything can be heard. Everything. And for one, when I threw up, it got on the floor. And I'm like, how the fuck? I know there was shit everywhere in the vicinity of that toilet. I painted that bowl, okay? And JD, I come out thinking that he's still outside, and he's gone. I had to clean up that whole fucking mess. It was disaster. That lady and her kids had walked out. And the convenience store guy is standing at the counter, like, and he's like, he wouldn't stop looking at me. And I forgot, I left the sink on because I couldn't hear it. It was like a trickle. He goes, "You left the sink on." I'm like, "Uh-huh." So I know he can hear that piss trickle sink noise. You can imagine what he heard in there. So I go to the car, and JD's eating that Slim Jim, and he's looking at me. He goes, I had to fucking leave. The woman walked out with her children because you were cussing. He goes, you were the foulest. You were the hottest. That's what he said. You were the hottest, nastiest bitch I've ever met. What the fuck was that?
I could smell it through the mask.
It was bad. It would kill you. Critters were moving out of that place. It was pretty damn foul. And I was super now I got I was so sweaty going through that whole ordeal. And I had my bag because I had to take my underwear off and he's like, what's that? And I'm like, it's my underwear. And he goes, you fucking throw that away. And I was like, he goes, well, you gonna take it with us? I'm like, I guess not. And he goes, why didn't you go poop before we left? And I'm like, I couldn't because there was people in there. He goes, what the fuck is wrong with you girls? And I couldn't eat before, remember? Well, at this point now I'm kind of hungry. And he goes, I'm like, can I have a bite of your Slim Jim? And he goes, yeah. So I ate some of that. By the time I got home, I still had to go. And that was all great, but he sent me a picture of the Slim Jim because I ate all of it, but an inch. And he goes, thanks for the bite. You left me 1 inch of a Slim Jim. He goes, you were so gross. I could not believe that you did that. And I'm like, yeah, well, sometimes when you gotta go, you gotta go. And that's not, I've had 2 horrible shooting situations and they still haunt me to this day. So that was the most embarrassing. At that point, you just gotta you know what? I had to give in. That guy is gonna look at me. He knows me from my dirty ass soul all the way. So, you just gotta go with it.
So have you ever revisited the Garrison Sensei? Mm-hmm. Does he recognize you when you come in?
No. Mm-mm. I used to have hair past my ass. So... he doesn't, but I recognize him. How many people you think he sees a day? I just hope that there was one more.
Well, if you did those special moments, it don't matter how many you get coming through there.
I don't know. He might. I hope not.
Doesn't give you the hairy eyeball or nothing.
You probably made an impression, so I'm sure he does.
Yeah, those
I
things
make an impression on anybody, so what are you talking about? Yeah, so that was a horrible moment in Miss Kunzweiler history.
that was pretty awesome.
That's good.
Transvestites and pooping, boy. Oof.
And stealing their shoes.
Oh, amazing. And I'm spent.
So, you can look at me in a whole new way now. Oh, I was screaming. I was cussing. I thought I was going to die. Thought I had alcohol poisoning or something. Yeah. So, but hey, Marty still loves me.
Mm-hmm. This is true.
But I won't let Marty in the room when I go potty. Mm-mm. I stand in the room. If he's going potty and I have to do business in the bathroom, whatever, he lets me in. But
which he has to do all the time. I'm in the bathroom.
Oh yeah.
Well, sure. No, in the myriad of relationships that I've been in,
let me in.
Let me in. I want to talk.
In the myriad of relationships that I've been in, you want to come in while I'm doing number one, fine, whatever. But no, if it's sit down time.
Yeah.
No, that shit is locked. I know no one's coming in when I'm I'm trying to get work done.
Wait till you get married.
Oh, dude.
All bets.
No, I've in the myriad of relationships that I've had, I have lived with several. Yeah. And no, I don't care. No.
He doesn't want me in there, but I break down the door. So if I gotta go, our laundry room is inside our bathroom. And also, Marty doesn't, if he wanted to, he could poop and get the fuck out of there in 3 minutes. But he has his fucking cell phone all the time. And he will sit there for hours. Well, not an hour, but at least an hour. You know what I mean?
No, that's a guy thing. That's a guy thing.
And I'll tell him, don't you go in the bathroom with your phone. You're going to sit there fucking ever.
Because it can vary for many, many reasons. I have a puzzle book. That I don't care. I don't care how difficult the puzzle is, whatever. The puzzle will be finished before I leave. Okay? Same thing. I got games on the phone. If I'm in the middle of one of my, little picture games, that will be finished before I leave.
Yeah.
Until your legs are numb?
If I have a magazine. Oh, there's many times where I will have
The ring.
The red pressure from
elbows.
from that down there. You better believe it. Oh yeah. You know, if I'm got magazines, books, reading whatever, I will finish the article. I will finish the chapter. I will do what needs to be done. Hopefully, maybe sometimes there's those great things where it's done before I'm done. Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, it's not.
Yeah.
I think probably the most I've ever spent on the can is probably, I could probably clock it at somewhere around 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a guy thing.
It is. Girls don't sit in there for hours. They don't.
But you go in groups. Why? In
the bar scene? Okay, are you talking about bar scene? Because when you're at your house, you know, like if my friend comes over and I need to pee real quick, I leave the door open and, you know what I mean, piss, whatever. But when you're in a bar scene, why do girls go into the bathroom together or
to talk
restaurant?
about guys?
Because it's to talk about other guys. They want to know, they want to go in there with you and they want to regroup and be like, oh my God, either if they're single ladies, you see this guy? Oh gosh, I'm going to try to hook up with him. See that fucking bitch? I swear to God, she tries to say anything, I'm going to get up in her fucking face. That's exactly what goes down. And any of you bitches that say different, you're liars, because that you go in there to talk about shit. You know, this is in the bar scene. You're standing there with your boyfriend, you're on a couples thing, and you're acting everything's great. Then those two girls go in the bar and like, I fucking can't believe he fucking said that right in front of him. And then they'll go back and pretend that everything's all hunky-dory and nothing just went down in that shit room. So
nothing went down in the shit room.
I got ones all day, don't I?
Oh, well, before we wrap this guy up, do we have any picks of the week for the week this week?
I can't think of anything.
Because I don't have anything.
Go Bengals. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Yeah, as a little aside, did you guys beat the...
We did.
Yeah.
Beat the Broncos?
Beat the Broncos today.
We needed that win, God damn it. We needed that win against the Patriots. That we'd be one game out.
Yeah. But the good thing is
because
Kansas City lost.
The Chiefs
too.
lost to the fucking Giants.
I know. How pathetic is that?
What?
In overtime.
What was the score?
It's terrible.
Like 12 to 9.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was a real shit show.
Oh my, yeah. Giants get their second win of the year. Oh God, I just wish we could have fucking pulled the upset. We'd be one game out of first in the West.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I mean, if everyone's stinking up the joint.
It was a good week to do it.
That's synergy right there.
I was.
That's right. We'll just call it the AFC West is now officially the AFC McKenzie. All right. Well, let's get this shit done, shall we?
Yeah.
That will wrap it up for this week's episode of the Quad M Show. Gang, don't forget, get out there, subscribe to the show on iTunes or any type of Android app. Make sure when you do, you rate and review us. Those are always important. Also, too, don't forget, like us on Facebook and follow us on the Twitter at Quad M Comics. There you go. So, until next time, kids, this is TJ.
I'm Marty.
And I'm sorry.
And McKenzie.
There you go. We will see y'all later, gang. Take care.
Stay beautiful.
You've been listening to the Quad M Show. Copyright 2017, Quad M Productions. If you have any comments, questions, queries, quibbles, or concerns, email us at quadmcomics@gmail.com or find us on Twitter at quadmcomics.
They call me Yuck Mouth, 'cause I don't brush. Oh, I like my teeth like this. They call me Yuck Mouth. No, I won't brush. How's about a little kiss? I got roast beef in my teeth, got some chicken too. Ouch, that's a cavity. Hey, that's new. Well, if you don't brush your teeth, then kids you too can be a Yuck Mouth.
Don't be a yuck mouth. Another nutritional message from the ABC television.